Hello and welcome back to Football Manager 2020 with Newcastle United. It is Season 8, I think, with Newcastle United. Not with Newcastle United, it is Season 8 of The Save. Season 6, question mark, with Newcastle United. Anyway, that doesn't really matter what season we're actually in. What does matter is the fact that we are in a Champions League campaign this season. Last year, we finished third place in the table, which is Newcastle's best finish in the Premier League for a very long time. Can we even see? Okay, so this doesn't actually help, does it? So 1904, 1905, they were top of the league. So yeah, I'm assuming it's Newcastle's highest finish in the Premier League since probably the start of the Premier League. Where did they finish under Keegan? Anyway, it doesn't matter. It really doesn't matter. As today is a new season, obviously transfer business has taken place, but if you remember at the end of last season, we had our transfer budget, that's what it's called. It wasn't particularly big, so we've not spent a lot of money. We've sold a few players though, so let's jump into those first. We're going to have to fly through some of these because there are 13 of them. Kelly Cabarrou is the first one to leave the club, going to Barnsley for a free transfer. Jack Johnson, a youth player, signing for Birmingham City for about £50,000. Josh Long also signing for Barnsley for potentially £240,000, which is actually quite a big amount of money for him. English central defender Mel Cole has left and signed for Cardiff for £105,000. Glenn Nichols, a player that we signed for too much money, if I'm honest. I think it was £5 million we ended up paying for him. He has finally left the club, signing for MK Dons. He was an experiment that failed. £125,000. I think we might have a 50% sell on in there though. George Ndor, the 23-year-old Senegalese striker who has spent the last 3 years out on loan at Generation Foot in Senegal, has left the club, signing for Wigan. We got some money, £400,000, so we actually made a bit of profit on him. For £500,000, Alexander Jovic has left the club, signing for Reading. Louis Matheson has gone and signed for Norwich for about £850,000. I think we've probably got a sell on in this one. Now, into the final 5 transfers. These are the bigger ones, so we'll spend a little bit more time talking about them. Petar Jovanovic, the former... Who was he formerly from? PSG, that's who we bought him from. He has left the club, signing for Galatasaray. Spent last season out on loan in his native Serbia at Partizan. He is gone for £5.5 million, potentially rising to 6.75. I don't think we were ever going to find enough space in our team for him. Now, this one is a bit of a risk. John Suter, our former captain, 144 appearances for Newcastle. He basically drove us up from the Championship in his first season here. Spent 4 years in the Premier League as well. Didn't play a huge amount last season. We've sold him for £8 million, so we haven't technically made a loss on him, really, if you think we've had him for 4 years. 5 years. That's how numbers work. Freddie Woodman is next up to leave for £10 million. He has gone and signed for Norwich. Realistically, he needs some first-team football, and I think he's probably going to be getting that at Norwich. We've got a decent amount of money for him as well. Marcos Senesi wasn't in the club for very long. I think, what did we spend on him? It wasn't a huge amount. 11.75 million. We've sold him for 15 million to Borussia Dortmund. He was never going to fit in, was he? He was never going to work, so we've made some profit, which is good. And finally, the big one, a player who I was expecting to leave for a lot less money than what we got from him. I was literally offering him out for £10 million, and nobody was biting. And then over the summer, Lazio came in, clearly with, I think it's the Guendouzi money, because we bought Guendouzi from Lazio. I think they've decided to finally spend that. They spent £22 million on Matty Longstaff. That is a huge sum of money for a player who, if I'm honest, hasn't really done a huge amount in the last 3 years, has he? But £22 million, that's good. That's helped our finances. That is not all the transfer business out. 2 more players have left on loan deals for reasonable fees. So Romain Martin has gone on loan to PSG for the season. We're getting quite a bit of money for him. And Miguel Angel Valenzuela has also gone out on loan to Borussia Dortmund. Once again, we're getting a decent amount of money for him as well. Basically, Valenzuela was going to play this season, and then Dortmund came in and went, hey, we'll give you lots of money for him. So I went, yeah, you know what, we'll do that. We'll take the money. Valenzuela, I think, could be a great player for us. He just doesn't quite ever get enough opportunities, does he? The first of 5 players to join the club then. 4 of them on permanent deals, 1 of them on a loan deal. This is the loan deal, is Igoitz Munoz on loan from Barcelona. Basically, I've brought him in because I'm expecting some more players to be leaving the club on loan deals. So yeah, Munoz is in central defender, 2.5 star current ability. Probably not going to play a huge amount of football, but he's there if we need him. Signing from Enugu Rangers in Nigeria, it is 23-year-old striker Kabiru Samuel, who now doesn't have a work permit and has gone out on loan to Maccabi Haifa. So yeah, he's good. I think he's got some possibilities. He's very, very fast. He's not good in the air. Attacking-wise, he seems reasonable. Can't finish, but that's something that hopefully he can learn. We've spent £1.6 million on him. It's no risk, really, is it? It's no risk. Our biggest signing of the transfer window is £4 million. We've not spent a lot of money at all. It is Gregory Bernal, a 21-year-old Chilean attacking midfielder and striker. I was just going to say attacking midfielder. He's an attacking midfielder and striker. Naturally, he's actually a striker. We've signed him from Colo Colo and then immediately loaned him out to Montreal Impact because he doesn't have a work permit. And he's gone there and scored 4 goals in 6 starts. He's loving life in America. Absolutely loving life. 3-star current ability, but I think he does have 5-star potential. Only 21 years of age, so he's still got plenty of future ahead of him. When he comes back, I imagine he's going to be a similar player to like Romain Martin, who just constantly goes out on loan. We never really get to use him, and then we'll sell him for a stupid amount of money in about 5 years' time. Next through the door is 34-year-old English striker. I don't really know why I've brought him, if I'm honest with you. It is Callum Wilson. He has signed on a free transfer, formerly obviously of Bournemouth, spent a little bit of time at Coventry, Tamworth and Kettering apparently. Didn't know that. But yes, the former Bournemouth man, England international as well, with 9 caps and 1 goal to his name, has joined. He's already injured himself, which is great. He's come in as an impact sub. And technically, he's great. Mentally, he's great. Physically is where he's starting to decline. But I don't think that's going to be too much of a problem. Like I said, he is going to be an impact sub. He's going to be doing that Robert Lewandowski role that Lewandowski was doing. So, I think he's reasonable for a year. And finally, also on a free transfer, it is 29-year-old German right back. I say right back as if he's only a right back. He can play pretty much anywhere, apparently. It is Benjamin Henriks signing from Monaco on a free transfer, as I've mentioned. He is going to be a backup to Johnny Santos. He's worth £45 million. A free transfer worth £45 million. I'm tempted to just try and sell him. As well as all of the transfer business we've just talked about, there's still more to go. Lots of players obviously leaving the club on loan. Greg Huddle to Burnley, Hossein Guesboui, or whatever his name is, to Coventry, Restrepo to Sevilla, Gaston Yacaruso to Anderlecht, Jamie Duffy to Bristol Rovers, Ewan Moore to Gatesfield, Brandon Jackson, nearly said Peter Jackson, the director, Brandon Jackson to Charlton, Phil Byrne to Coventry, Neil Barras to Blythe, Gyozo Pap to Morecambe, Jordan Ormerod to Luton. Jordan Ormerod, I'm hoping he's going to get some good football down in League One because he's got potential. I really like the look of Jordan Ormerod. The bad boy Bobby Mills has also gone out on loan to Bolton, Craig James to Blythe, Kabiru Samuel, as we've mentioned, to Maccabi Haifa, Trevor Dolan, the goalkeeper, to Bristol Rovers, and Gregory Bernal to Montreal Impact. So yeah, we spent £5.5 million. We brought in £65 million. There's a lot of transfers have taken place. I'm pretty sure as well, if we go released players, there's probably some names on there. Robert Lewandowski, there you go. He's now director of football. He's not good. So as it is the start of the season, it's probably a good time to take a look at our club vision and all that jazz. So they are expecting us to do some fancy playing styles, attacking football, make the most of set pieces, entertaining and high-tempo passing football, so we probably need to be playing the tiki-taka rather than the gegenpress. Sign high-reputation players, they are satisfied with that. I don't know who the high-reputation player is, but fair enough, they're satisfied, and sign players under 20 for the future. I always do that. Still no news on the stadium, it is still ongoing, I still think they're looking for a site. Work within wage budget, which is a normal one. Champions League, they want us to get through the group stages. They want us to qualify for the Europa League in the actual Premier League. FA Cup quarter-final, Carabao Cup quarter-final as well. The board are expecting big things from us this season. If it goes badly, I can see us getting sacked. Looking at the season preview then, we are expected to be finishing 9th place in the table. If I'm honest, I'll take 9th. 9th is not the end of the world. What do they think we're probably going to be playing then? Adonam in goal, Maguire, Bamber and Zelaya. Yeah, to be honest, looking at that there, probably not far from the truth, is it? Key player then is Marlon Charles. Eduardo Romero is our hot prospect. Average age of just 24 years old. How does that stack up with other teams? 26 for Man City, 26. I reckon most people are going to be around the 26, 27 mark, aren't they? So yeah, we're a very young side, which does not surprise me. So are Chelsea, apparently. Also, when you look at the Media Dream 11, Marlon Charles is in there. Bloody Marlon Charles is the best left back in England. And you know what's even more ridiculous? 4.5-star current ability, no England caps. Still no England caps. If I was the manager of Trinidad and Tobago, if I was Angus Eve, I'd be determined. I would be just knocking down all the doors to try and get Marlon Charles to play for Trinidad and Tobago. Now, this is something that I don't do particularly often, but the happiness is a little bit over the place. So, Matthias Jakobsen is devastated, wants to leave the club. Adnan wants to leave the club. Shackleton also wants to leave the club. And a lot of players are supporting, I think it's in particular it's Jamie Shackleton they're supporting, but a lot of players are supporting other players who want to leave the club. Obviously, I don't want to sell Jakobsen or Adnan. They are our two best players. They're not technically our two best players, but you know what I mean. They're two of our very best players. Adnan, 24 years old, Brazilian goalkeeper, 4-star current ability. Arsenal did come in for him during the summer. I rejected it. He wants to leave. He's not going anywhere. He's definitely not going anywhere. I have been trying to look at getting a replacement for him, but I don't want to sell Adnan before I get that replacement in. Jakobsen, however, is a slightly different case. I would be okay with selling Matthias Jakobsen if the finances were right and if we had, say, a 50% sell-on or a 25-30% sell-on in there. I would be happy to do it. Chelsea did come in with an offer. It was extremely low. It was taking the piss, if I'm perfectly honest. It was about £12 million. He's worth 27, so he's not going anywhere anytime soon. He's also out now for 5 weeks to 2 months with a torn hamstring. Before we end this episode, I'm going to do something that I don't often do, and that is kind of give you a rundown of the team and the starting 11 that I think is probably our best starting 11. So, in terms of goalkeepers, it's Adnan, isn't it? It's literally only going to be Adnan. Central defenders, we've got a lot of them to pick from now. So, this is what we have. Hold on, let me do some changes. If I do that, nope. So this is all of our central defenders. We have Zelaya, Bamba, Maguire, Jakobsen, Mylard, Stock, Munoz and Johnny Panzo. I've sorted it by ability as well. So, arguably, you'd say those three, wouldn't you? You'd say Zelaya, Bamba and Maguire would be the main three. I do want to give Johan Mylard quite a lot of football this season because he's getting good. I just think he needs more football. He's still only 21. He has 3.5-star potential, which he's not going to hit unless he plays football. We also have Marcus Stock, who is likely going to be going out on loan to, I think it's Germany, Schalke, Stuttgart and Freiburg. But yeah, I think, again, he's another one of those players that he needs to get some football in order to get better, which is why I'm hoping he can go out on loan to a Bundesliga side. So for the fullbacks, there's only two options. Johnny Santos on that right-hand side, Marlon Charles on the left. We do have Henriks, who's obviously joined in the summer. We still have Helinho as well. So we've got backups for both the right and the left-sided wing-backs. If we're going to be playing the tiki-taka, which is what the board kind of want us to be playing, we can't really fit in Christ Chole, can we? He doesn't really fit. He's not a ball-winning midfielder or a box-to-box. Like, these are literally some of his worst stats. However, I think he might be able to pull off a box-to-box. So, that's probably where we'd put him. And then it means Lewis Cook, Guendouzi, Shackleton, Willock, and Traore, I guess, to a certain extent, could be that ball-winning midfielder. I'd say probably Lewis Cook is probably the better ball-winning midfielder. He's got a lot of tackling. 14 tackling. Definitely Lewis Cook is that ball-winner. Attacking midfielders then, much like our fullback positions, there's kind of only one choice, isn't there? It is Thiago Almada, although he's only 3-star, but bear in mind, I've got all attacking midfielders and central midfielders, which means Monasterio, Fite, Marlon Charles, and everyone like that has suddenly turned up on our list. Behind Thiago Almada, we don't really have a backup attacking midfielder. I was looking at maybe having Eric Horn as that backup attacking midfielder, but he's likely going to be going out on loan with Fleetwood and Wrexham coming in for him. So I don't have the transfer window being open anymore, so I can't buy anybody. We might need, I guess, Traore, but then again, Traore might be going out on loan as well. Who's he off to? Lille, Young Boys, Copenhagen, Corunna, Lask, or KRC Genk. So yeah, maybe we need to look at retraining somebody to be an attacking midfielder. And strikers then, again, only really two options, isn't it? It is Fite Arp and Franco Di Matteo. We do have Matteo Lopez-Bays, who's returned from his spell in Switzerland, where he got 13 goals in 23 appearances, which is actually quite good. We still have Nicky Monasterio as well, who obviously will rotate him with Franco Di Matteo, but 23 years old. He's he's ridiculous. At 23 and he's still got some more potential to go. I think he's bloody good. And then obviously Callum Wilson down there as well, but he's most likely going to be coming off the bench. We may as well have a look at Fite Art whilst we're here. Still only 26 years old. He's very good, isn't he? He's very good. Got 5 goals for us last season, most of them from the penalty spot. But Fite Art is probably going to be partnering at Di Matteo or Monastero for most of the season. So there we go. I've also just popped some players in on the subs bench. So Wang's probably our second choice. Goalkeeper Henriks, Mylard, Guendouzi, Traore, Lopez Bays and Nicky Monastero. Obviously, we do still have a fair few players here, which can probably rotate in and out of that squad as well. That is going to do it then for this first episode. Next episode, what we're actually going to do is we're going to have the Manchester United game, and there is a very good reason for this. It's because the Champions League group stages will be drawn on the 27th of August, which is 2 days before we play Manchester United, who are the current European Champions League holders. So they won the Champions League last season, so we're going to find out all in one episode who we're going to be playing in our group, and then whether we're good enough to win the whole competition. If we play Manchester United in a one-off game, can we beat them? Thank you very much for watching this first episode of Season 8 of Football Manager 2020 with Newcastle United. If you did enjoy, do remember to leave a like. If you want to see more, hit the subscribe button, and I'll be back next time with the Manchester United game and the Champions League draw.